Before this video gets started, I just wanted to give a special shout out to all channel members. If you're a channel member, thank you so much for supporting the channel, as it truly means a lot. Now, let's get on with today's video. What is going on, guys? Possible Sway. I'm bringing you guys a Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League video where we'll be talking about the game's likely ending. If you like what you see, please consider obviously liking and subscribing. And yeah, this is probably going to be a long video since I have a lot to talk about. And I just want to say, WB, please do not copyright strike my video. It's clear that you don't really care about this game anyways. So, let's get on with it. I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. The ending of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League will most likely be a train wreck and will be horrible. And I'm not saying that out of, like, a perspective of, oh, I have finally flipped, I no longer like this game. It's just, that is the truth. The ending will be terrible. And to explain that and to explain why the ending will be terrible, well, there's a lot of things to go over. We know that Rocksteady was basically forced to stop development of the game back in March. So basically everything we have seen since March has been really the same stuff. Basically everything that wasn't already finished or already done has been basically reused. And so, like, for example, season 3 was supposed to have a Batman style Brainiac, as it's clearly apparent that the arena is set up in favor for Batman. The voice lines show that this was supposed to be a Batman boss fight, or like a Batniac, you know, a Brainiac Batman fusion. But that isn't what we got. All we had was Green Lantern, because that's all that they were able to finish, since we know in season 1, I believe it was Green Lantern and Superman, which is why also as well we've only gotten 3 Justice League member boss fights. It has been the Flash, since that was the main fight which they were able to finish, Green Lantern, and Superman, and they have continued to reuse those assets of Flash, Green Lantern, and Superman. We were also supposed to get Superman infused enemies in season 3, but since they weren't able to finish that or bring that to life, which is why we haven't seen that, which is why we continue to get Batman infused, Superman infused, and Green Lantern infused, which also proves the point too of we should have gotten the Batman boss fight, because there's literally Batman infused enemies. So what am I trying to say? There's a reason why there hasn't been cutscenes. There's a reason why there hasn't been story. There's a reason why most of the meaty parts of the story have all been in audio logs, because all of the voice lines for the game have been finished. They were finished in 2020. So that means Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will probably get an ending, but it'll be something that they've already had before. So likely it'll just be like episode 7. There will be no boss fight. But what we really just have to hope for people of the game who just want to see this game properly end, is that before they were told to stop development of the game and basically send it off to, I guess we could call it the interns, as the internet likes to say, we really just need to hope that they finished the return of Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman to just sort of mesh it together and combine it and throw it in the best way possible to finish episode 8, the finale, the grand finale, whatever you want to call it, although more than likely it'll just be a dud. Since if they didn't finish it, we won't get a return of Batman, we won't get a return of Superman, and we won't get a return of Wonder Woman in cutscene format. Let me rephrase that. We will see the League at the end of the game, and we will get an ending. It just won't be any good. The real ending will most likely be placed in the audio logs, which sucks since they weren't able to finish the cutscenes, which explains why the game has just been steadily declining. But there is sort of hope, since we were able to see the return of the Flash and the Green Lantern. So maybe they finish the return of Batman and Superman and maybe Wonder Woman. I highly doubt it though. But basically Warner Brother Games basically had them just sort of hold off on their post-launch seasonal content, because they wanted to know whether or not this game was going to be a success. And this game wasn't a success, so the story takes a huge hit, which is why if you listen to the audio logs, we have audio logs that consist of Lois Lane saying that Green Lantern and the Flash have been spotted throughout the city, although they're in their cryopods. And we also know too that the Justice League, when they come back, they were supposed to help us defeat future Brainiacs in future boss fights, since there's proof of that they were going to be more like a Squad Ultimate, and plus two, the rumor of the ideas that we were going to play as the Justice League, since the Justice League has inventory assets. But Rocksteady was most likely not able to finish that in time, since they had to stop development of the game in March. So really what we're sort of just betting on at this point is we know that the game will have an ending, and it will probably have its real ending, which I would just call it the good ending, the ending that makes the most sense through the audio logs. But not everyone is going to listen to the audio logs. They're just going to see what the game has to offer, that final cutscene, that final line, that final fight before the credits roll, before the screen fades to black, which that part will be terrible. I have no idea how it's going to go down. All we know is that the League will be there. And the reason why I'm bringing up this point is we know the Justice League is alive, believe it or not. Yes, I know we didn't see Batman return. Yes, we didn't see Superman return in episode 7, but through Deathstroke's audio logs, we know that they're alive, because Deathstroke said that to Waller that she has the entire League in her pocket. Although realistically, currently in game, there's only 2 League members alive, and Deathstroke even brought up the theory of the Clay and Wonder Woman. So we know that they're alive. We don't know where they're at, and we probably won't see them until the final fight, because that is probably all Rocksteady has the budget for, and all they were likely able to finish last minute before they were told to basically stop production in March. It's a shame that this game doesn't really get its proper story, and it sucks that they relied on it being live service, because getting drip fed, in any story is just terrible. And especially with, I guess, a game as big as the Arkham verse, it really just doesn't look good for fans of the series and fans of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So like what I said, I'm here to just basically be the bearer of bad news. We will most likely not get an actual cutscene of Batman's return, of Superman's return, and Wonder Woman's return. I know, it is horrible, and it kind of sucks, because it has been something that I've been looking forward to since basically this game came out and Batman and the other Justice League members were killed in the main story. I've been waiting for their return, and we will most likely not get it, but we will see them reunite at the end, and we will probably have what we were supposed to get in the audio logs. And other theories to sort of prove this point and what I mean, like what I said, Lois Lane mentions the Flash and Green Lantern roaming the city. Lois Lane even mentioned Superman-infused enemies. Lois Lane also even mentions, I believe, something related to Wonder Woman, a Wonder Woman infused enemy, and also in the audio logs we have Flash interacting with Toyman, and we have Green Lantern interacting with the Suicide Squad. But that doesn't make any sense, right? Because they're in their cryopods, yet they're interacting with the squad in audio logs. These were all meant to be cutscenes. These were all meant to be depth to a story that desperately needs it. This was all meant to be building blocks to help this game basically end. And which is why, too, this game sort of just falls flat, because a lot of things that they wanted to get done, they haven't been able to do, and having to rely on the game's success for basically an entire second half of the story, having to kill 12 Brainiacs to basically wrap up everything, was just a horrible marketing strategy from WB. They honestly should have just stuck with their gut and let this game be story single-player based like they originally planned. But obviously, as most of you guys know, back in 2020, they had to make a choice between making Gotham Knights live service and making Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League live service. And they ended up going with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League because Warner Brothers, believe it or not, felt that Suicide Squad was going to be a billion-dollar game for them. I don't know what they were thinking, because even someone like myself, I don't like the Suicide Squad, but I like what Rocksteady made, I like their idea, and I like what we have, but we all know deep down the Suicide Squad are just a bunch of D and F tier characters. And in all honesty, if it wasn't for Harley Quinn, I don't think anyone, or if it wasn't for Harley Quinn and being set in the Arkhamverse, I don't think anyone would care about this game. because I was kind of in the same boat like everyone else. I didn't really care about this game until I found out that Batman was coming back. And now here we are at the game's basically ending. And just letting you guys know that it most likely won't be a grand finale. It won't be a spectacular, ending. It could be, but I'm just saying it is highly unlikely that they were able to finish anything or that they had the budget, which also explains too in other ways. Um, just the motion comics, no really real introduction of each DLC character. They kind of just show up. And everyone hates the motion comics, and everyone hates how in-depth the audio logs are. So we probably will get this game's story, but it will basically be through audio format and no cutscenes. So when it comes to that point, when we get to that ending, when we cross that bridge on January 15th, use your imagination to the best of your ability. But I will say too, maybe they finished it. Maybe they were able to get everything done. Maybe they were able to get Batman's return, Wonder Woman's return, Superman's return, and maybe they were able to finish a proper boss fight. I seriously don't know. It's a lot with this game that could have made it really, really good if it wasn't live service. But I guess to sort of end and say, I guess not all hope is necessarily lost. I could honestly see them reusing everything and making a Justice League game, knowing that they have all of this concept art most likely and all of these ideas for their big ambitious title, which sadly fell flat because of a lot of different circumstances that they couldn't control at Rocksteady, which I'll talk about in another video. They could probably reuse these assets sort of like how WB Montreal did with Arkham City back in 2011 to 2013 when they made Batman Arkham Origins. So there's sort of hope in that, and we know that Rocksteady did pitch a game at WB, or to WB, and WB ended up liking their pitch, and we know that it'll be a single-player-based story game, and they're supposed to go back to their roots. A lot of people believe that it's a Batman Arkham Asylum remake, and a lot of people believe that it is possibly Batman Beyond. But if they want to save money, they probably should just make a Justice League game that's set in Metropolis again that takes place after this game. Although it might be something that nobody wants, it could be in the best scenario and the best cards. Since everything is already done and all the concept art could already be finished most likely, and they could probably just use Lex 2 to be the main villain. Although I really don't know. But just wanted to share this video with you guys, so just be ready for what's to come in the end of Season 4. Everything I said, most likely, I'm hoping it's not true, but just wanted to say it. I would say it's like 50-50 in all honesty, probably even more than that. I just thought it needed to be said because I know that when the ending comes and it's not what people wanted and it's not what people expected, it will definitely cause an uproar online. So basically, to recap what I said, the ending of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the cutscene form, will be terrible. And the audio logs will probably have the real ending of what we were supposed to get through cutscene form. Since also, too, to bring up one more point, and we know the Justice League is alive because of the current audio logs. Anyways, though, yeah, this is Pineapple Sway, and I really can't wait to see how this all comes down and concludes on January 15th. This is Pineapple Sway. Peace out.